Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today is a crochet and chat, but specifically it's a crochet and chat about things you should know about where your food comes from. So I am making this video to help educate anyone who watches this video as much as possible. I know that there is a lot of misinformation about food out there, and to tell you a bit of my credentials, I got a degree in agricultural communications from South Dakota State University, and I have worked in the food industry. I have been a part of agriculture my entire life. I was in FFA in high school and 4-H growing up. I know a lot about where our food comes from that a lot of people don't know, and that is okay that you don't know, because we are getting now 3rd and 4th generations away from the farm. It's beneficial to these companies that you don't know what's going on, essentially. So this isn't like real woo-woo. I'm not just, someone talking, pulling from the air. So grab your project, grab a drink, let's get started. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for, I guess, I think this is going to be kind of a one-off video, but for more crochet and chats, I got a lot of things to say. So this is a non-alcoholic margarita. I use the Ritual tequila, like NA tequila alternative. I know that health and wellness is a real hot button topic in 2025, but also under consumption, low buy, no buy years, at least in the parts of the internet that I'm a part of, I've been seeing a lot of that. And so I'm also trying to make this video to help you save some money. So please do not spend it on some of these things or really think about it. And let's just get started. Colostrum. You are not a baby cow. Do not buy colostrum supplements. There is no need for you to have it. These extra vitamins and minerals, all this stuff, they're good for baby cows. To me, it's no different than the scam of taking a green juice for vitamins and minerals. Essentially, if you want the benefits of colostrum, just eat a salad, eat a balanced diet. You could drink whole milk if you really want to. That's you are not a baby cow. I don't know how many times I need to say that. So I know that I mentioned this. Green juices, you also don't need to buy green juices. Those AG1 and Bloom are not the lifesavers that you think they are. A salad would do you good, living a healthy life and eating a balanced diet. These are all of these things that I'm talking about are just recipes for really expensive pee, because it's not normal for our bodies to be intaking such levels of vitamins and minerals. What our body does when we have so many extras of that is that we just pee them out. So $40 for your green juice powder makes your pee liquid gold, essentially. Kind of an offshoot. I am not a professional in this next area that I'm going to talk about, but I have friends and I knew a lot of people who work in pharmacy. Quit buying all the vitamins and supplements on the market. This is an unregulated industry by the FDA, and they can put essentially whatever they want in there. And if you really care about your body, you would eat a balanced diet. And if you really do think that you have nutritional gaps, talk to your doctor. The only thing that I would say that you could, if you really want to, eat a multivitamin every day. Also, gummies are not the best way for vitamins to be consumed. It is very hard to suspend the vitamin in that gelatinous form. So really the best way to consume vitamins is in a capsule form. I know that everyone's going to hate me for saying that, but if you want gummies, you could get a pack of Sour Patch Kids peach rings, those Sour Patch watermelon things, for so much cheaper. You don't have to buy all of these gummy vitamins. So now we're going to pivot a little bit. Organic, talking about marketing. Organic is not what you think it is. I know it's poised as this great thing with no pesticides or fertilizer used, but that is like simply not the case. The whole point of organic is that you can only use certain pesticides and certain fertilizers. It's not completely without. So, and I know that you're told that it's completely without, that's not true. You can, organic is a marketing ploy used by companies to make you think the food you're eating is healthier. It's not. It's just more expensive. It's a more expensive farming operation. Being organic is not really regulated by the USDA. Essentially, the USDA, if you look it up, it just says, these are the third parties that we think are the best. And, like, you can claim organic by going through these. But that is still... those still are not like government regulated. So anything claiming to be organic is certified by a third party, and we don't know what kind of regulations they require. Sometimes it's as easy as paying a fee and then you can put your logo, that organic logo, on your product. For the love of God, quit drinking raw milk. It is illegal for a reason. You will get sick. Pasteurization exists to kill the bacteria in the milk that only these cows can digest. Cows have 4 stomachs. They are able to digest much more complicated things than us. It's kind of the difference between, like, they can eat grass, we cannot. We can't eat grass. We don't have the enzymes to break down grass. Again, you are not a cow. You are not a cow. And if you are really wanting to be healthier, I mean, you can drink whole milk. Don't drink raw milk. I don't know where this came from. I know in some states it's legal to buy the cow, and then you can drink its raw milk. You're gonna get sick. You are. If it's not today, tomorrow, you will get sick in the future. It's not helping your immune system. It is not a lifesaver. It feels like a lot of these things are just ways to, like, make the consumer feel better, and it's also like a really great payday for some farmers. Kind of sticking with cows and beef cattle, grass-fed does not mean that it is better. A lot of times this is surrounding beef, and I believe that animal welfare is important, but there is no way for a cow to get all the calories and nutrients it needs based on grass alone, because we have messed with our environment so much. There is not the biodiversity that there used to be. So we have to supplement our beef cattle herds with specialty diets. We don't supplement with these specialty diets to fatten them up. Also, if you're a meat eater, obviously they need to have muscle on them. We use these specialty diets so that they can grow big, great, grand muscles that we can then harvest. Grass-fed beef ends up not being great quality beef at the butchers, because these cows weren't able to, like, develop properly. Speaking of feed, there are no antibiotics in your food. There aren't. Antibiotics are used as a mean to cure a bacterial sickness, exactly the same as us and humans, because animals also get sick. Pigs and cows live the longest before they go to market. Like a beef cow lives for 1.5 years. A lot can happen in 1.5 years. Once an animal has been given antibiotics, there is a holding period where that animal cannot go to market until they have been tested clean for said antibiotics. If they are not, and the animal does go to market, and the butcher catches it in some way, that farmer is in some deep shit. They can face fines. That butcher will likely never work with them again, and then that butcher will tell all their other butcher friends not to work with that farmer. It is within the farmer's best interest for their business to not use antibiotics. And antibiotics, I don't know where it came from. So whenever you see a label that says no antibiotics ever, that's simply a fear-mongering tactic. Piggybacking off of that, there are hormones in your meat, because hormones are required for, like, animals to grow, for us to grow. Hormones are inside of us. They're inside of my cats here. Like, it's how we reach sexual maturity. It's how we grow and change as human beings. Animals also sexually mature at some point. Stating hormone-free is another fear-mongering tactic, and there's this weird suggestion that animals have grown bigger and yield more meat over the past 50 years because farmers are treating them with hormones. This is very, very false. The reason why we've gotten to this place is because of science, because farmers are good at curating their herds. They keep and cull the best animals to continue farming practices. We breed animals on our farm with the best genetics so that they can yield the best progeny. We have been doing this for thousands of years, like since the agricultural revolution, we have been doing this. And I even took a livestock evaluation class in college that is based around this concept. I understand that it can like look really scary, but it's just because of the leaps and bounds that science has done over the past hundreds of years, honestly. One more thing, GMOs are not something to fear. If you eat bananas, bananas are a genetically modified organism and would not be around if like the concept of genetically modified organisms did not exist. You can look it up. Bananas were on the brink of basically extinction because of like a virus that was inside them, and so scientists had to go in and make these disease-resistant bananas. Genetically modified organisms exist to help make our food better. They will not kill you. Think of it like a breeding herd that I was just talking about. We just take the best things and we put them together. People will try to convince you that GMOs is something that is like added to a plant. And that's like not true. So like even GMO free is also a fear-mongering tactic. GMO, genetically modified organism, is a science that is helping better our world. It's helping us be able to yield higher, like bountiful amounts of food, and it's going to help us feed our ever-growing world. So I mentioned that I work in the egg industry. There is no nutritional difference between white and brown eggs. I think I've mentioned this a couple times on my channel, but like I really want my subscribers to know that. It is a very important piece of information, especially as more brown eggs are trending within the egg zeitgeist. Brown chickens do eat more feed. That's just a quality of the breed that they are. And so then obviously that costs more money. Unless the eggs are rich with something like DHA, omega-3, all eggs are pretty much the same. Pasture-raised, free-range, and cage-free are all the ways that chickens can live, but that is no bearing on how the egg tastes. So I'm a firm believer in, if you are purchasing these eggs, that is more of your way of like voting how you think chickens should be housed. Studies do show that the best egg-laying hens live, like the best living environment for egg-laying hens is enriched cages, where they have perches, scratching areas, and like homes basically to lay the eggs, and they're in pockets of like 10 to 18 so that they can establish a social pecking order, because chickens are very social creatures. But there's no called like the enriched cage egg, because we think that like cages in general are bad. And with these free range and pasture raised animals, they also are fed this specialty diet because chickens don't eat grass. Like they eat bugs. If you buy free range or pasture raised eggs, be aware there might be a bug in your yolk sometimes, because whatever a chicken eats can end up in the egg, and that is nothing to be scared of and not a poor reflection of the living conditions of these chickens. If anything, it's good because that means the bird was in fact outside at some point to eat that bug. Also, egg prices are volatile because of bird flu. I don't know if anybody knows too much about that, but since about 2015, the poultry industry has really been struggling with bird flu, and it drives egg prices up and down like crazy. They are not indicative of the economy, and eggs in particular kind of exist in a little world all their own. So I know that people are harping about egg prices and how the Trump presidency will help bring them down, but the only way that would happen is if the USDA puts money into helping vaccinate birds to stop the spread of bird flu. Whoever's in the presidential seat is not going to have a bearing on how much your eggs cost. One more thing, farmers are not really as poor as you are led to believe. This is not, farmers don't exist in a monolith, so this is not always true, of course, but the farm equipment that people need to use to till, water, plant, and harvest all of these foods can go for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've heard of tractors going for upwards of $1 million. It's expensive to have these things and to run your farm, and a lot of times they can drive like the nicest trucks because that is then a business write-off. Farmers are very good at knowing how to use government grants and federal money to their advantage, as they should. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I'm telling you that farmers aren't poor. I think small family-owned farms and supporting your local communities is really important, but we can't feed the world without these huge farms. And kind of, I didn't write this down, but kind of piggybacking off of that, the term factory farming is such a ruse because most farms are family farms. Yes, they are companies, but they're owned by families. Like, I did an internship in college for the second largest egg producing company in the United States. And while they are so big, they are fourth generation family owned. So that's something to think about as well. One more thing I would like to say, I think people saying that they want to like learn how to make things from scratch or grow their own food is a really good thing. I yearn to have a garden of my own one day. That is why buying a house is something that is very important to me, or at least like a long-term goal for me. Supporting your local farmers is a good thing, and supporting your local farmers market is a good thing, even though you should be aware that some people at the farmers market just buy things in bulk from places. They don't actually grow that food themselves, so just something to be aware of. There's also lies on that front. Feeling this way doesn't negate everything that I have said here today. What I'm telling you has no political affiliations, and these are simply facts about the industry that I think you have a right to know if you have never been around agriculture life. As we get farther and farther away from the source of where our food comes from, and there are less people getting taught these things by their family members, it's by design that there are things like no antibiotics ever, GMO-free, organic. There's a reason why these exist, and because there's a market for it. Because people don't know what these terms mean, and that is not anybody's fault. That's companies taking advantage of people not knowing things. I hope you learned something today. If you don't agree with anything I've said, I am just telling you these things. They are in fact true. So be nice in the comments. If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. I am always the first to say when I don't know something, so I will let you know. I'm not someone who goes around parroting things that I know nothing of. Teaching people about where their food comes from has been a passion of mine my entire life, and I think it's your right to know when you are being lied to by marketing and influencers around you. I understand if you are not wanting to believe what I say, but what I am saying is true. The food in the supermarket is not trying to kill you. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you learned something, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for, we're not going to be doing too much other content like this. I completely ditched the crochet project. This is something that's really important to me, and I think that you have like I've said, you have the right to know. So, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.